Okay. New addition to take these off. New addition to the screen. To the background is the kind of vodka, of course. It's a new shirt. It's not gonna come out ever. It's a custom made by Marcel. I thought I'd make another one of these easier than doing nothing. I guess I was planning on kind of like being around the bush, as in like productively procrastinating. But I think we should cut to the chase and then move on after that. Like making these little videos. I know no one watches them, like literally no one. But I think I have one view. Pretty sure it's me. Anyway, yeah. I think I'm in a good-ish place again. I have some ideas. Yeah, it felt really. I had that really like quite a lull, a valley before the mountain. As it is. Like I'm so aware of it at this point, but it doesn't. You never. It's like even being aware of it doesn't make it feel any less, bad. Doesn't make it feel any. Doesn't make it any easier to experience when you feel like a down part, or make it any more less exciting when you feel the exhilarating high. And I'm not the high, nowhere near it, but I think I'm at the bottom of the slope that's like going up now, which I think is cool. We'll see what happens. I really don't know. Now I feel like I'm hyper aware of like the feelings of excitement. But to be fair, like when the fashion show was happening, like during the show itself, I was in a happy zone. It was kind of like surreal because I was like, this is like happening for real. I can't believe this is like actually happening. And so it was different from like a euphoric, like I'm in the zone, I'm in the flow state. But it was essentially just like work paying off, which is really cool. But what I want, I don't know what I want, but like I have some ideas anyway. Short film related. I think what I'm gonna do with my music is, I have a lot of good songs in the vault, unreleased, and I really like. I really like them. I like the songs. I have like when I did the Voltage series this year, which was just me like posting songs that probably would have never seen the light of day. Like I was like, well, these are like really good, and I like essentially it was just a challenge to like make a really easy but still looking good music video, like in like a one shot setup essentially for these songs I wouldn't have released. And yeah, this always ends up happening. You end up looping back on ideas with a fresh perspective, and that's all. That's essentially all you need. I think I'm gonna do that again, basically. Wow, yeah, that would work actually. There's definitely enough, and so what I think is now the plan, and I think is maybe more sustainable because it gives me more time to mess around. Is that I release songs I've like got on my PC already. Maybe just polish them up a little bit. See if I can give them a fresh perspective. If I can't, then the ones that are good enough will be posted or finished or whatever, and then released. And then whilst I'm doing that, I work on the stuff that's gonna come after. This sounds like really straightforward on paper, and it's technically what I've been doing already. Like every artist, like you don't know everything that Frank Ocean is working on. Like he's like a kind of a shit example because he hasn't posted anything in a long time. But that's the point. Like Tyler the Creator said, like by the time the current music comes out, he's like 3 years. It's 3 years behind essentially. And for me, when I released Capo, I was really happy to get out of my system, and I did actually finish it quite close to the release date, maybe a month. But by that month, it was like it felt so far away from like the current thing. I feel like, which is a good thing probably. I feel like it got out of my system. The story, the project, like the whatever I learned from there, I learned in that moment, and then it's gone now. Not like I can carry it forward essentially. But then I had some new sounds which I kind of start cooking up immediately after finishing that, which like no one knows about really, which I think would be interesting. interesting to bring that. And then once I'm doing that, experiment more, and then have this kind of like a rolling cycle, which is probably like seems really smart, like not smart, probably seems really straightforward and intuitive to most people, but like for me it's like a new discovery which I'm very grateful for. Like I love just like experiencing joy and ideas, like even before they like come into fruition, which is really cool. I don't know. It's really strange. Like right now, I'm getting like self-conscious because I'm thinking about this video being perceived and me speaking truthfully being perceived, which is really interesting. It's not. No. I'm still trying to figure out how to just speak without consideration. Essentially, like that's it. I was gonna say consideration for anyone else, which sounds calloused. Yeah, it kind of is. Like obviously empathy comes into play. I think just like it takes a lot of, I don't know, it takes like some level of audacity to speak freely. But like I think what I'm trying to say is like with leeway, with the freedom to fail. So let's ring to it. The freedom to fail is really like the key part, because I don't mind. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm saying we collectively as we as people, maybe we as artists, we don't always give ourselves the capacity to mess up, and we get really frustrated at ourselves for like being wrong, which makes sense. We're human, but and yeah, I'm not very forgiving of myself, but I think we're more forgiving of others when they make a mistake sometimes, but we probably could be more so. And I think being able to receive with grace, but also understand that like someone might have just like, there might have been like a thin veil between what they were thinking and what they said, which means it's not being like purified, which I think is like really beautiful. I think there's like something incredible about like the rawness of like a pure thought without any like polishing or anything. That's some grade A out, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Just fucking bullshitting. Anyway, yeah, some short film ideas / film ideas. Probably boring to hear with no substance. I'm just gonna try to work on this shit here. My friend Maria's been like talking about how she doesn't like. I think it's like, I don't know. There's something about like dopamine. You like release dopamine when you talk about doing something, which makes you not do it. I think I'm maybe good-ish. I like actually like doing the thing because out of habit, maybe because I've like persisted. There's a gap year's been good for that, but I fear being in school and having lots of things to do will give me the false sense of completion of when I've got hella shit to do, or there's hella things I want to do. But I hope, like I feel it's not until like tonight that I felt like I have something to chew on, which is great to feel now, but it did not feel good before. So I think I'll be not chilling, active. But yeah, just I've got things to chew on. Essentially, is all I have to say. Chewing, things to chew on. That's the title. It will be the title, I think. And yeah, I sent a very long message to my dad. Hope that pans out correctly. Hope it ends up being productive to the relationship. I'm not gonna go any deeper. But yeah, music wise, essentially just have it be a rolling schedule. See how that goes. That's the experiment. We're here to experiment. I'm still young. Still a teenager. 19 is crazy. No, I'm born to be wild, young and free. Limbs are still limber. I wonder if that never crossed my mind. Limber, because like your limbs that's crazy. That's a revelation for me. Love it. Anyway, let's get cracking. Let's get to work. Hope the mic was on, quite frankly. Anyway, let's see. Thank you for watching. If you watched, you didn't watch, well, it's cool if you did. Ghana, free at last, freedom to fail. That's kind of a good title, low-key. Bow. at some point. I think it's a true one.